life is life, and then when it comes to family emergencies, you drop everything. My oldest sister was MIA. Stacy, Selena just wasn't mentally right, and Shaunda disconnected from the situation. My dad voice, it just kept being in my head. He always told me that I'm the backbone of the family. I never got that. And you look towards the oldest before you look towards the youngest. So if you're a baby of the family, the last one to come out your mother's womb, you're it. We're it. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. I am Shaunda. Hey guys, hey. I'm just gonna get right into this and just talk about my last week and the reason why I couldn't upload. First, I was very upset that I could not upload, but at the same time, life is life, and then when it comes to family emergencies, you drop everything, of course, and you be there. With this certain situation that happened, I can't say much. I won't say what happened until like a later on date if my family deems it okay. The one person in particular, to see if she's okay with that, I would just have to ask later on down the road. But due to these circumstances, I'm pretty sure it will be a while until this is all shared. But from my perspective, what I just wanted to share was how I got through. And I want to say with all this that happened, I never been on autopilot. I want to say that was like my first time experiencing just to make sure things are in order and where to be. With this certain circumstances, I have my sisters, my older sister, Stacy. If I have to put it in order, Stacy's the oldest, then Selena, then Shaunda, and then there's me. I'm the baby of the family. And it's been pretty interesting being the baby. I want to say being the baby, I get treated, differently, of course. Being the baby of the family is awesome. So if you're a baby of the family, the last one to come out your mother's womb, you're it. We're it. But I'm treated differently. Everybody's special. Everybody is special in the way how parents be like, there is no favorite. It's very hard to believe that. And I know with my family, there is no favorite, but I just love seeing how love is shown differently to the different sisters. So with me, I want to say in this moment, I never really got to process my emotions until like twice with these circumstances that happened. So with everything that went on, my oldest sister was MIA. Stacy, Selena just wasn't mentally right, and Shaunda disconnected from this situation. So there was me, and I had to step up. It was pretty interesting. This is where like the autopilot came in, knowing that my sisters weren't available to be there in that way and what was going on. I just knew that I had to, whatever that was possible. I don't really know how to describe it without giving too much. I just knew that things needed to be in check, things needed to be in order, and a person had to do that. And just making my time to make sure that the house and where my sisters live at, just making sure that is all put together and things were in order, so when things started and the process started, it would just go smoothly. That was very interesting because like with this certain situation that happened, I had to take off of work immediately for 3 days, and luckily I had the PTO to do that, and that was great. And just being there for my sister as much as possible. My days were so, I don't know, it was draining, and I didn't know how to that I was keeping up. Whatever this autopilot was, I was just on. I just knew that I had to be there as much as possible for my sister if my mother needed me, but mostly for my sister, Selena, in this circumstance. I the step up process, I'm very sorry if I have to like get my words right, but the step up process that I had to do, again, the baby of the family, I didn't know how to deal with this situation that was going on, but I knew that I needed to take things step by step, take it very slowly, and just process the information that was coming along to me too. And with my line of work, I get very specific with customers, and knowing that I need specifics outside of work, I see that does not work for certain people. I see that it's too much for them. After they get it, they be like, already know, like, what is the point of double checking? I'm like, I just need to make sure that this is just on my end, that we're not missing anything. That's just me. That's just what I got accustomed to with working where I work at. But throughout this whole process, my dad voice just kept going into, it just kept being in my head, because he always told me that I'm the backbone of the family. I never got that because of the fact that I have older sisters that, you know, with any situation, you look towards the oldest before you look towards the youngest. And with me being the youngest, and that, again, with the situation, and I was the only one, to me, mentally ready and physically ready for this to get through this situation, I never really knew what that meant, being the backbone, until this situation happened, until I had to step up, and seeing that none of my sisters were around for the support. So I had to do that myself. And I kept it together throughout the time that was needed until the very end, because I want to say, with everything that was going on, and everything seemed to settle. This process is still going, but the major thing that happened seemed to settle just a tad. My first breakdown was with my friends. I went to their house just because it was something that is another safety net that I had aside from my own place, which is nice, but I just didn't want to be alone. And then due to other circumstances where they're very close to where I need to be with my sister. I just couldn't stay with her. So I ended up going to my friend's house, and as soon as I walked in the door, I put my things down, and I just remember like putting my head on their couch, and it sounded like it started off as a laugh, but then I just started off crying and breaking down and telling them what was going on, and how it just seems like this autopilot, I can kick in for anybody. I knew that the need, because I'm an active service, my love language is active service, doesn't matter who's it to, I want to say towards my friends and family. I felt very disconnected from my family a lot. So knowing that this was like my step up thing, and being there, and knowing that I am really there, even though I'm not there on a consistent basis, that this is how I am. You guys will see me in action. I'll be there hand and foot if you need me to be. And when it comes to my friends, I was there for them too. And I can't really describe it, but knowing that the drop of a dime, that I'm there for anybody, is really nice. But I felt that it was hard not doing that for myself in my situations, because outside of the situation that happened, I have my own stuff that's going on, and it doesn't seem like I step up for myself. But knowing that this trial and tribulation that I'm going through is the proof that I can do it, was very, very interesting for me, and very challenging. But I knew that I did what I had to do in that moment, and I was very happy about it. But my breakdown was with them, and I thought that was the only thing that I needed. I needed some type of release. I needed to tell somebody and share what I was going on and what I felt mentally, and it was just very overwhelming. But I'm very glad that I got to, express that to them, and that they were there for me, and I just had a place to just somewhat calm down. But I still had to keep going the next day. Then it leads me to my second one, which is my major one, the major one being that it was more anger. Like I felt like my first breakdown was just me being overwhelmed in sadness and somewhat happy that the situation rolled out the way how it did. But this one was more anger because of the fact that the energy that I put into one person did not come off as accepting, and her being, how can I say, the only word that's popping in my head is grateful. And it just didn't seem like it didn't matter. It didn't matter for her. So, and I understand with what was going on that she took in a lot, and it's a lot to take in, and she's dealing with emotions that she's never dealt with before, ever. And that's understandable. But again, at this point, it's somewhat settled down. So I don't understand why these feelings and how you're talking is like this. I had to express to her that she's very negative, and with that negativity, to me, it boxes you in, and you focus on that one negative thing and not see the big picture. And that's what I was explaining to her. And with that, with certain things, that she was saying, it just wasn't sitting right with me, and it made me upset. And I blew up, and I just told her, like, I've been here all week. I was here for you. I understand that what you were saying and these emotions that you're expressing is hard. I took that. But now that somewhat things are settled down, we have to look towards solutions, and we have to look towards what needs to be done later on. But currently, in what you were saying right now and what your solutions are for the future does not make any sense at all. That I was trying to explain that to her, but I blew up. I got angry, saying like, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. Like, shut the fuck up. We were just going back and forth in the car. Leading her, when I dropped her off where we needed to be, she said that she doesn't need me and some other people in our lives. And I'm just like, whatever. You know, people say things out of anger, and people say things processing emotions and stuff. And it was understandable. I'll always be there for her, but it was just very tough. The her that I'm talking about is Selena. I never want to feel that I'm talking bad about her at all, but I'm just saying that I'm just expressing how I felt through this situation, that it was very overwhelming for me to deal with what I was dealing with. It was very overwhelming for her to deal with what she had to deal with. But at the end of the day, we only have each other. So let's work through what we need to work through. Let's not focus on the smallest picture. Let's focus on the big picture. And that's what I was just trying to aim with her. It's just a lot. It was a lot. But it made me, with this situation, it just made me think and be aware and know that I'm able to do what I need to do for myself. That my family and my sisters have their own situation, and I will be there for them as much as I can, but I still have to put me first. I still have to keep pushing first, and I still have to keep doing what I need to do to get by, and be mentally aware and focus on what I need to focus on. I just can't. That week, I made them my priority, which was perfectly fine. That was the purpose that week. But now, with everything that is going on, and just seeing how wanting people to change takes time, I would want them to change on their, you do your thing, but I just have to worry about me. I would really love to tell more about this family situation, but with things that are going on, I can't share that. But sooner or later, it will be a very interesting story to come by. I wanted to thank people for understanding. I always normally post on my Instagram because that's my main thing. I want to get better with posting to every other platform that I have using my YouTube and being on my YouTube page. I need to make sure that people know that I'm not really, MIA on everybody. And I want to get better at that. So I appreciate everybody's time and mine. I always want to try to be consistent every time. I said that I want to post every Thursday, but when life happens, just got to go with the flow and got to go with the punches. Take it as much as possible. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. Please remember to rate, like, comment, and subscribe on my Apple, Spotify, and YouTube page. If you'd like to share your experience with me, please email me at imjustsharingpod@gmail.com. I will see you, and I have a guest on my next one. I'm very excited that my guest will be on next week's podcast. I look forward to it, so I'm excited. But thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.